Hi, how you doing? Aaron here. Today I'm going to show you how to remove your mirrors, either driver's side or passenger side, off of a Nissan Titan. This procedure is relatively same throughout the years. There is a couple exceptions depending on your trim level, or if you have the towing mirrors, which I do here. In my case, the motor inside the mirror stopped working for the adjustment, and as you can see, there's actually a part that's missing here, so customer wanted to get a new one from the manufacturer, which is kind of pricey, but whatever, they're paying for it, so I really don't care. Unfortunately, you do have to remove your door panel to get to the electrical connector if you do have electric mirrors. If you don't, disregard that, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to remove your door panel here, switches, your lock button, and if you have memory seats, you're going to need to remove that switch as well, and the light underneath there as well. So I'm going to show you some tools that you're going to need and some tips to make the job go a little bit smoother. So here are the tools that you'll need to do this job. I got a nice little assortment of plastic trim removal tools. If you don't have one, you could use a dull knife, or dull screwdriver, or putty knife, butter knife, whatever. They'll work. Just be careful. But if you got the time and the money, go ahead and get yourself a nice trim removal tool. T25 Torx bit. If you have the towing package with the longer mirrors, you're gonna need this tool. If you don't, 10mm socket will work. But to remove the door panel, you will need a 10mm socket. I'm using my Impact tools here. They're very fast and efficient, but if you don't have one, no biggie, just use a ratchet and a socket. Also, get yourself a little pick. This makes removing the connectors, the electrical connectors on the door switch, really fast and easy to get at, or otherwise they're kind of a pain. So before we start, just remember to like and subscribe, and hope this video is helpful. Okay, first step you're going to want to do is remove this little plastic piece. Just slides in there like that, and it's kind of held in with two tabs, one at the top, one at the bottom. What I do is I take my little trim knife, my little plastic trim knife here, and I pry it out. We're going to have to remove that to gain access to these two 10mm headed bolts. They also have that Phillips in them, just like that. So you could either use a really long Phillips screwdriver or your 10mm with an extension, which I'm going to be using a 10mm. So remove those two bolts first. Okay, your next step is going to be removing this little cover that goes behind the door handle. There is a little plastic cover. Pop that off, don't lose it, and then go ahead and remove the other bolt that's behind that. Once that's free, the door is pretty much free. You're going to have to just use a little bit of force on the bottom, pop it off and pop it up. And from there we can go ahead and maneuver around the door handle to get this thing off. The handle is loose, and your panel is actually loose. What you could do is you could take off these electrical connectors, or you could simply feed it through this hole. I'm going to opt to take off these electrical connectors using a small pick. There's little tabs on each of the connectors to release them. Now that we got our mirror and door lock switch removed, you can kind of go ahead and let the door panel hang a little bit. The only thing that's really keeping it up is the cable for the door lock and the door open cable. So what you're going to want to do is focus on this connector. This is your electrical connector to your mirror. Go ahead and get yourself your pin, depress it, and remove this side of the connector. Now that we got our connector out of the way, we can go ahead and focus on removing our mirror. This is a little bit different than your regular mirror. This is the tow mirror, so you have this plate right here, which you normally don't on non-tows. So using your T25 Torx bit, you're going to remove these three bolts and then remove this whole cover plate. So now that we got that plate off, the three bolts, there's actually one more nut, and it's down here. Right through here you can see there's a 10mm headed nut. You're going to have to remove that, and once you do, make sure your hand is on, or you have somebody holding up the mirror, because that'll fall. I really don't care that it falls because I'm replacing it, but that's not good practice. So just be aware, once you remove this nut, it's going to be free to fall. You can go ahead and feed your electrical connector through, just to guide it all the way down. Okay, I got my new mirror mounted on, and you're going to have to feed this back through the proper way. One thing that you should be aware of is you're gonna have to route it around where the window goes, the little window guide. If you don't, when your window comes down, it's probably gonna rip this cord. So make sure you pay extra attention on how this is routed to give yourself enough room. So hope this video has been helpful. Please like and subscribe if it has, and let me know. Leave something in the comment section. Let me know if it has helped you, if you do this a different way. I'd like to hear. Hope you have a good one. See you next time.